What happens when unwavering devotion meets divine prophecy? This is the incredible story of a humble family blessed by a vision that would change their lives and the world forever. In this episode, we delve into the early life of Khudiram and Chandramani, the parents of Sri Ramakrishna. We'll explore their journey from prosperity to hardship, guided by their unshakable faith and devotion. Discover the mystical visions and divine messages that foretold the birth of one of India's greatest spiritual figures, and how these extraordinary events shaped the destiny of Sri Ramakrishna's family. Chapter 2. Parentage. Towards the middle of the 18th century, there lived in the village of Darapur in the district of Hooghly, Bengal, a Brahmin family, of which Manik Ram Chattopadhyaya was the head. He was a pious and kind-hearted man. With 50 acres of land at his disposal, he was able to meet the needs of his family, as also to lend a helping hand to the poor and distressed of the village in times of calamity. In about 1775, he was blessed with a son who was named Khudiram. 2 other sons and a daughter were also subsequently born to him. After the death of Manik Ram, the entire charge of the family devolved on his eldest son, Khudiram, who, trained in the family traditions of an orthodox house, was eminently fitted to attend to the manifold religious and secular duties of the household. Both Khudiram and his wife, Srimati Chandramani, were exceptionally devoted to their tutelary deity, Sri Ramachandra, and soon earned the love, respect, and admiration of the villagers for their charity, truthfulness, and kindness. In 1814, an incident of the great importance occurred in the life of Khudiram. He was called upon by the local zamindar to give false evidence in support of a case which the latter had brought against one of his tenants. But so fearless was Khudiram's integrity that he was prepared to stake his all rather than deviate an inch from the path of truth and rectitude. His stout refusal to comply with the request of the landlord entailed on him, in its turn, a heavy persecution, which ultimately led him to leave his ancestral house for good. Penniless and homeless, Khudiram bade adieu to Darapur and made his new home in a neighboring village named Kamarpukur, where, through the benevolence of one of his friends, he got half an acre of very fertile land, which supplied the simple needs of the family. The village of Kamarpukur is situated in the western extremity of the district of Hooghly, on the road leading to the holy place of Puri or Jagannath. The village was highly prosperous and noted for its manifold arts and crafts. The flourishing condition of the place is even now testified to by the debris of its old buildings and the ruins of great walls and temples, as also by the existence of some large tanks. Khudiram began his life anew in the midst of the quiet and peaceful surroundings of this village, and soon attracted the notice and gained the respect of his neighbors. One day, while returning from a neighboring village, Khudiram strangely came into possession of the emblem of his tutelary deity, Raghavir, in a paddy field. He took it home and began to worship it as his own Ishta. Both Khudiram and Chandra made a profound impression upon the villagers by their exemplary life and unswerving spirit of devotion to their beloved deity, as also by their overflowing kindness to all who came to their door for help and succor. Thus, though the home of Khudiram never smiled in affluence, it was a source of great solace to many an aching heart. After 6 years' residence in Kamarpukur, Khudiram got his son and daughter married. Ramkumar, which was the name of the son, in the meanwhile had become quite proficient in Hindu lore and was able to relieve, to a certain extent, his father's family burden by earning something. So Khudiram had now more time at his disposal to devote himself to religious practices. In the year 1824, he went on foot on a pilgrimage to Rameshwaram in South India, which lasted about a year. 12 months later, in 1826, his wife Chandra gave birth to her second son, who was named Rameshwar. About 11 years later, in 1835, Khudiram went on another pilgrimage, this time to Gaya. Here, after the performance of the sacred rites, he had a strange vision at night. He dreamt that he was in the temple of Vishnu, where his forefathers were feasting on the sacred offerings he had made. Suddenly, a flood of celestial light filled the holy precincts of the shrine, and the spirits of the departed fell on their nests to pay homage to a divine presence seated on a throne. The effulgent one beckoned to Khudiram, who, coming near, prostrated himself before him, and heard the luminous person saying, "I am well pleased at your sincere devotion. I shall be born in your cottage and accept you as my father." Khudiram awoke with his heart thrilled with joy. He understood that a divine being would bless his house very soon. About the same time, Chandra Devi was also having strange visions at Kamarpukur. One night, she dreamt that a luminous person exactly like her husband was lying by her side. Another day, while standing with Dani, a village blacksmith woman, before the Shiva temple adjacent to her house, Chandra saw a bright beam of divine effulgence dart from the image of Lord Shiva and enter her. Chandra was overpowered and fell unconscious on the ground. Dani nursed her back to consciousness, but from that time Chandra began to feel as if she were quick with child. On Khudiram's return to Kamarpukur, Chandra narrated this event to her husband with her characteristic candor and simplicity. But Khudiram, who had already had the strange vision at Gaya, was now completely convinced that they were soon to be blessed with a divine child. He advised her not to speak of her visions to anyone. Chandra was greatly consoled and passed her days in complete resignation to the will of Raghuveer. Ever wondered how great spiritual lives are shaped in childhood? Our next episode takes you into the fascinating boyhood of Sri Ramakrishna. Discover how a young Gadhar, blessed with visions and divine ecstasies, grew up with an unmatched passion for the spiritual world. This chapter will inspire you with the story of a child set apart by destiny, filled with profound wisdom and love. Don't miss this incredible glimpse into the early life of Sri Ramakrishna. Thank you for listening till the end. Please subscribe, turn on the notifications, like, comment, and share with your friends. This will help more listeners to discover our channel and content.